Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. I am Lousy,
This is backhand.
and we are going to talk about the first fight on the main card of the Holm Bueno Silva card. And the first fight is Nazim Sadikov versus Terrence McKinney. I'm going Nazim for the win. I'm going to go with the distance as well. Going the distance.
Yep, for me, I'm just going to go with Sadikov straight up money line. He's minus 150, $150 to make $100. So I'm just going to bet him outright money line.
Yeah. The last couple of fights with Terrence McKinney has been a little bit questionable as far as his striking. And he's up against a guy that's a technical striker that can wrestle. And Terrence McKinney's an amazing wrestler. There's no doubt about it. I even talked about earlier, like in the year, like Terrence McKinney, watch out for this guy.
Yep.
He's dangerous.
He is definitely dangerous.
With his wrestling, and he just takes over.
Mm-hmm.
But this Nazim guy his striking, he'll get you out of there.
And he has a chin, too. He could take a lot of punishment. And he's just one of those guys that presses forward and throws a lot of strikes, a lot of combinations.
Yeah. This is probably going to be one of the fight of the nights because there's probably a lot of volume in this fight because I don't think it's going to be a lot of like take you down like with this man's takedown defense, Nazim's. I think it's going to be a stand and throw type fight. It's probably going to be a little bit of wrestling because that's what Terrence does.
Yeah, Sadikov is 8-1, and his first professional fight he got subbed when he was like 26 years old, 25. Now he's 29. He's had like 4 or 5 years on a 8-fight win streak, 5-fight finish streak, 4-fight KO streak, and now he knows how to get up off the ground. He's got great balance. Just kind of one of those freak athletes that you just go, you see them like an Ilya Topuria, and you just go like, damn, he can get up off the ground. He just phenomenal athletic, prowess, and he goes forward. He does keep his his face covered with his hand when he punches. So he's got
head movement,
good technique, even though he's kind of a brawler.
Yes,
but he's a technical brawler.
Yes,
which is kind of like
just barreling through. He's timing his shots.
Oh yeah,
very well. So.
Got it all right. Leg kicks, punches, combinations in punches. He goes to the body. It's just a guy that you can bet on and like know that your money's going to be good against a guy like McKinney. McKinney just got KO'd in his last fight, and Sadikov won a phenomenal fight where he ended up cutting his opponent in the third round. It was a very close fight, but Sadikov was definitely kind of winning and in control a little bit. It was a technical brawling fight, and Sadikov, that's where he shines. And in the third round, I think he cut him with like an elbow over the top or something like that, and the other guy got cut. They just stopped the fight. So Sadikov is just on fire right now. Just one of those guys where, in my opinion, minus 200 probably makes more sense in this fight. Minus 150 is probably a steal because McKinney just got KO'd. Also, McKinney, his record is literally 100% finish rate.
So inside the distance.
Yeah, inside the distance. So I feel like for me, I want to bet Sadikov straight up. But then also McKinney literally has like 15 wins. All of them are KOs and submissions, mostly submissions. And then all of his losses, his 3 or 4 losses, he gets either submitted or KO'd. So he either finishes the opponent or he gets finished. That's his record. Because he gets kind of reckless and he just kind of goes for the kill. And then so if it backfires, he gets KO'd.
He gets caught.
It
catches him or gets caught.
Oh, yeah. So, like, for me, I want to bet a large bet on Sadikov because regardless of how this fight happens where McKinney smartens up after maybe getting hit a little bit and he just goes, okay, let me back up a little bit and start doing something different because Sadikov is so dangerous. I feel like Sadikov straight up, but then also a smallish bet on just inside the distance.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't go to a decision. And then what's great is that Sadikov probably does KO McKinney eventually, and if McKinney does somehow KO Sadikov, somehow you're hedged a little bit with a small bet.
Well, the way that McKinney is fighting, he's fighting like Bobby Green. The way he's just like, okay, I'm gonna get knocked out or I'm gonna knock you out.
Yeah.
Like hands down. Like what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Show me something.
Yeah, I mean McKinney's one of those guys, talented, like good power, great power, but sometimes like he'll throw like a 1-2 or like a 3-punch combo, and if it's a 1-punch, he's good, but if it's just kind of like 3 punches, he gets a little reckless because he gets a little overexcited, too close to the opponent, and then his head usually gets countered. He's been countered so many times, and he either gets knocked out after he's winning a fight, like with Drew Dober. He's winning a fight, he knocks down Drew Dober, and then Drew Dober knocks him out because McKinney gets over aggressive.
Yeah.
And
and then against Bonfim, where you don't want to like do Unlike you want to be in and out with him.
Yeah.
Because with the power of Bonfim, he's gonna get you out of there, and he did in the second round there.
So basically, McKinney, the difference is that McKinney likes to brawl, but he's not a technical brawler. But if you do kind of come in kind of lackadaisical with no defense, he'll KO you quickly with a counterpunch. So he's got great counterpunch power. But if you're smart like Sadikov is, and you come in with your head covered, and you know how to like move your head out of the way and angle your head off to the side while you punch,
technical at all,
smart. Yeah, if you're technical at all, like you're gonna do fine against him. And if you have power, you can do really well against him. And Sadikov has so many weapons. McKinney really just has. Well, McKinney does have some kind of freak, I think he can, throw some crazy knees, weird angles and stuff too. But most of the time, McKinney is just throwing some combinations recklessly. And Sadikov is always having his hands up while punching. And even if he does take a punch, he does have his hand up. So he could obviously always get KO'd. But he's got, like we said, an iron chin. It's so hard to hurt him. He knows how to kind of angle off and move his head out of the way after he punches. So even if he does get hit, he doesn't take full force out of the counter punch from his opponent. So it's going to be a good bet, great bet.
Nazim's chin and Terrence's wrestling, I think it's going to go the distance. Even though Terrence, even though McKinney has like ridiculous getting people out, I think with the wrestling and Nazim's chin, I think it's actually going to go all three.
Because Sadikov is different than anyone McKinney's fought. Because Sadikov literally is a technical brawler that comes in at you and will actually force McKinney backwards. Usually McKinney goes forward.
Yeah.
And then will counterpunch and then throw some combinations, things like that. But Sadikov will back him up instantly. And you think that will make McKinney turn into a wrestler.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean,
that could happen.
That's his bread and butter. McKinney is his wrestling.
Yeah.
But
a lot of subs.
He can throw.
Yep.
So
he can.
It's gonna be a great fight.
If it's
regardless, I'm still going Nazim, but
Yeah.
I might stay away from the distance bet. But that's just what I think it's gonna go the distance.
Sure. Nazim definitely Sadikov for the win, and then how it's gonna happen, who knows exactly, but I got you on that. It's either this fight or the next fight, guys. Ozatar versus Prado is the next fight. One of these two fights is going to be fight of the night. Stay tuned for that fight and check that fight out.
It's please
gonna be
do.
Fun
It's going to be great.
Break
that
down
was
and
barn
watch
burners.
the fight. It's going to be great. Appreciate the listening. Hey, guys. This is we've been drinking MMA. This is Backhand.
This is lousy.
We're breaking down this UFC Fight Night, Holm versus Bueno Silva, and this is the second fight. This is the fight of the night, in our humble opinion. This is Ottman Azaitar versus Francisco Prado. And I'm going with, the pick is Francisco Prado.
Oh, the fighter I'm picking, the prediction is Francisco as well. But I think somebody's getting knocked out.
Exactly. I mean, these guys throw heavy punches. They're not the fastest fighters as far as their movement. In fact, I would say Azaitar is actually a tad bit faster than Prado, but what Prado lacks in speed, he makes up for it with his technical boxing. Neither of them throw much kicks. It's just boxer versus boxer, and Prado throws head kicks too, though. Actually.
Neither of them are wrestlers either. So the only way a submission is going to happen is if somebody gets knocked down and gets choked out.
Yeah, I think Prado definitely in his last fight, he did lose his last fight, but guess what? Azaitar also lost his last fight, and whereas Prado, it was his first fight in the UFC, he's 21 years old, and he lost his first fight in the UFC to a guy that people know, a known fighter, Jamie Malarkey, and Malarkey was really, really, really fast. Technical, really straight punches down, like a 1-2 straight punch down the middle and then out of the way, really, really fast, and like a leg kick, in and out really fast. And Prado just wasn't fast enough, but Prado was 20 years old, I think, at the time. Now he's 21. So, Prado definitely can throw like knees or like a head kick a lot of the time. He can even throw some leg kicks here and there, mixes it up here and there, but mostly punching. And not the fastest on the movement, but like if he clips you, you're screwed kind of thing. And he can get up off the ground, great balance, and he just improves from fight to fight. So that's why Prado, I feel like they're both throw with a lot of power, him and Azaitar, the opponent. However, Azaitar is reckless. That's why he's got 15 fights and 13 of them are in the first round. Whether he wins or loses, it's always in the first round. And he just got KO'd in the last fight in his first round. He's 33 years old, so he's not in his prime.
Ottman, his nickname is Bulldozer, and that's how he kind of fights. Just goes straight forward.
100%.
like you said, a little bit reckless at times, but like if he gets you,
Like,
you're gonna feel it.
honestly, like we've called a lot of fights at this point, probably 6 months of this podcast. Wouldn't you say this would be probably the most shocked you've ever been that if you picked a fight to end before the distance? Like, wouldn't you be shocked, the most shocked if this fight, out of all the other fights that we've picked the same thing for, this would be the one that we're shocked probably the most that it actually does go all 3 rounds?
Yeah,
There's
like
no way.
like they push against the fence the whole fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
It's like they're like, no, we're gonna do like an Ngannou Lewis fight where we just throw 3 strikes. Like, no,
13 strikes the whole fight. Like, what is this? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So basically, Francisco Prado, 21 years old, improving a lot from fight to fight. Only one loss
His
so far.
IQ with his striking is amazing. Right?
Yeah, all of it. He's got 100% finish rate. Well, is it 100%? Yeah, I think it is. Wow. 100% finish rate, and he just had 1 loss in this last fight.
And that was by decision.
First fight in the UFC by decision to a guy who was just faster and just way more experienced and had everything, crowd behind him. Prado's 21 years old, so he's going to improve from fight to fight. Him versus a Zaitar, let's just say it's equal. The thing is that Prado, more technical, meaning he's going to have better defense, better distance control. His punches look crisper. But Prado only throws like a 1-2 sometimes. Maybe he'll throw a kick, the knee, but if he lands, he's got great accuracy on the countering. But a Zaitar likes to go forward, like Lousy said. So a Zaitar is going to be throwing like a 1 punch quickly and like a 1-2-3 punch combo. Problem is with a Zaitar is that, like we said, he either beats you in the first round or he gets beaten in the first round, like he did in his last fight. So his head is he's reckless. So if we're thinking that, judging by their last fight, they both looked pretty equal. But Prado is more technical with his punches, and this guy is reckless as Aitar. On top of that, Prado is getting better from fight to fight, 21 years old. That first fight, there is sometimes you get a little nervous. And it's not easy
the butterflies
to
are gone.
Butterflies. Yeah, they're going to be gone now. Because this guy's a guy who has a 100% finish rate. So, yeah, we're going with Prado, going to be by finish.
See what the price is on first round knockout. That might be actually...
That would be a great bet. That's probably what's going to happen here.
It's like, yeah, with how many knockouts these guys had in the first round, like, why not take a look at it?
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. We are on the third fight of this Holm Bueno Silva card, and it's between Norma Dumont versus Chelsea Chandler. I'm going Chelsea Chandler by knockout.
Yep, I am picking Chelsea Chandler as well.
We just looked on ESPN, and we just saw the significant strikes per minute is almost 9 per minute with Chandler, which is unheard of.
I mean, I don't think I've seen it. I think the close one was Jack Della Maddalena, and he had about 8 point something. This is 8.94.
It's incredible. Like she's going to bully ball. Like,
she's different.
Give me your milkshake.
She is a bully in there. It's amazing.
Her jab and her combos are real crisp, and she's going to throw with intention. So, by knockout, Chelsea is my pick.
Nice. I feel like Norma Dumont, last 6 fights for her has been decisions. So... the thing about her is that she's very defensive. Her output, her volume, not very good. She doesn't throw a lot of strikes. 3.4 significant strikes landed per minute. And just in her last fight, it was like she's very defensive.
Against Carol Rosa.
Yes. And it's just one of those fights where it's like, you'll see a leg kick once in a while, a jab once in a while. Like, she doesn't take advantage of openings. And Chandler takes advantage of openings that are not even there.
She makes her own luck.
She does. Like, she'll do 3-punch combinations, just 1 punch out there, kicks, everything, and just probably the biggest bully maybe I've ever seen, definitely since Jack Della Maddalena, and probably more so even, because this girl's throwing
Another
lot
Andrade?
of combinations. Yes, a lot of combinations. And the cool thing about this girl, Andrade is a lot of hooks. Chandler will mix it up. Chandler will throw a straight punch, a hook, like anything. She'll do whatever it takes, and her punches are... she's relatively tall, 5'8", so she's punching down, and when she hits these shorter girls, even Dumont's shorter, like, dude, it hurts people.
Yes.
And her ground and pound, like, she got taken down. All of a sudden, she got on top because her last fighter, which was Stolarenko, she went for an armbar against Chandler, and Chandler ended up kind of on top and got out of it and got on top. Her ground and pound was pretty excellent.
Yes.
Like, damage on the ground. I mean, just anywhere this fight goes, she is doing, like, really, really good damage.
In Dumont's defense, everybody knocks out Stolarenko. Last six fights, she's been knocked out 5 times.
Exactly. She's like 10-8, but
like Dumont's the favorite here.
Dumont's a minus 150 favorite. It's basically a pick 'em, but Chandler, great plus money here. Throwing way more strikes. This is going to be
a live underdog here. This is great.
We just love it. We're taking this.
I'm going to take this.
I mean, I feel like Dumont's in these back and forth fights with people who are not very good, and Chandler, when someone is not very good, Chandler absolutely like mows them down. And Dumont it's not like she's always moving. Like, she does move here and there, but a lot of times she's just kind of keeping distance relatively, like, just by just kind of standing there a little bit. She's just kind of standing around, moving around kind of slow. She can move kind of okay, her movement, but she just doesn't move enough. To beat Chandler, I think you have to be a fast mover on your feet. Have to be moving.
In and out, boom, boom.
You have to be fast. And even though Dumont is very defensive, she's not very fast. And then on top of that, not throwing the output equals Chandler is just going to, just walk you down.
She just walks forward instead of hops in and out.
She's going to find the openings. And I feel like Lousy's right. Chandler's going to put her away. I think there's a really high chance that happens. I mean,
oh, that's cool. You picking the same thing? That's awesome.
I mean, the bet plus 125 just to have her, fighting against Dumont, whose Dumont is ranked. So it's the first UFC fighter that Chandler's fight that's
copycat motherfucker.
I mean, it does feel like Chandler is going to knock out a lot of people. But at the same time, Chandler's one of those people where I think she's one of those people that just so gritty that sometimes she'll fight probably injured and stuff like that, because she should have more KOs, but like she has a couple decisions on the record in the last 5 fights. But like the way she fights is like she should have like 5 or 6 fight KO streak right now. The way she fights. But I think
Bar alley backroom brawl type fighter.
Unbelievable.
Boom, boom, boom.
And not
boom,
reckless
boom,
though,
boom.
just really, really aggressive and just is just mean. Like she just, again, like Lousy said, makes her own openings and has a lot of intention with her punches, and it's gonna be a great fight. Going with Chandler, guys.
Chandler for the win. Let's go.
All right, guys. Thanks for continuing to join us on We've Been Drinking MMA. This is the co-main event of the Holm Bueno Silva fight night. This is Albert Duraev versus Junyoung Park. And for me, it's 2 wrestlers, so my pick is that this fight is going the distance, all 3 rounds.
Oh, yeah, that's like a no-brainer here. I don't think either one's going to get subbed, and I don't think anyone has enough power to get somebody out in this fight for a knockout, so I think going the distance is smart.
Exactly. I mean, Duraev, they both wrestle well. And the only difference is that Duraev has like more shots, more tools in his striking, and Park is more basic in his striking. But the thing is that so Duraev stands a little bit farther away, and Junyoung Park really just goes for kind of just like jabs and just like sticks and moves and a fast leg kick.
One punch.
But really only to set up the takedown.
Yeah.
Like he's not trying to hurt you.
No.
That's it. But Duraev is going for like punches that can hurt you, but he doesn't throw like a lot of volume, and he'll just throw, but he's got like a good body punch, and like, leg kick, and he mixes up the strikes. It's just when you're going against a wrestler, you're going to be even more apprehensive to throw. So I feel like this is going to be a very low volume striking fight. And it's just going to be people are going to be afraid to strike because of the takedown. So it's going to be kind of like weird. And I think it's going to be a lot of staring at each other.
Well, might be a lay and pray. I don't think Duraev's gonna lay and pray too much, but like that's his MO. Junyoung, the way he takes down people is either he does a body like grapples, does a body hug and then trips, or he pushes against the fence and then he's able to get either the one leg, or takes the legs out in front of you. It's not like he's like full on like Makachev, like double legging or anything. He just uses his strikes and just goes forward. So.
Right. And then the thing is that, so in my opinion, like Jun Young doesn't do much damage, like we said, with the punches. So he's just going for the takedowns. Except Duraev is kind of keeping the distance and standing farther away, so it's hard to take him down. And then, Duraev has the power, more power, and more variety of strikes. But then Park has like actually pretty damn good head movement, and he's really fast with the head movement, very twitchy, and just is very smart and strategic as far as coming in. Like he's very smart with the head movement, head placement, and so I just see like it's just a lot of punches that are missing, and some leg kicking going on, and just going the distance.
Going distance, WrestleFest. So pick who you want in this fight, but I'm going Duraev.
Yeah, Duraev's got the striking for sure.
Thanks for listening. Welcome to the We've Been Drinking MMA podcast. The Holm Bueno Silva main event is here upon us right now. Boom. Holm for the win. That's who I'm picking. I don't see how Bueno Silva even takes her down once. Holm has good grappling. Bueno Silva, even though she's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like really good at it, she does not take down people, which is crazy because that's how you submit people.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going with Holm as well. Minus $170, $170 to make 100. But she's shown that at the ripe age of 41, she's still improving, especially her grappling. Like that's why she was taking down Yana Santos for 3 rounds last fight.
Yeah.
And Santos is a solid grappler.
Santos, solid. That's what she does.
That's what she does. Yeah. And she's top 7, top 8.
She's for her level.
Yeah.
Great. Amazing.
Yep.
B-Rabbit's going to get it done here. That's how she fights, is hop, hop, hop. If you ever watch her fight, the way she circles looks like a rabbit, so I'm going to call her B-Rabbit. So 8 Mile is going to get the win.
8 Mile for sure. And then on top of that, she has a 2.5 reach advantage, which is huge in this fight because Bueno Silva goes forward a lot and Holm is a counterpuncher. So when you're a counterpuncher and someone's coming forward at you and you got a 2.5 inch reach advantage, it's a recipe for landing a lot.
Yes.
And she's, of course, Holly Holm, former champion, and very crisp striking because we always say at every podcast that she was a 8-time or 9-time championship boxer.
Yep.
Legend. She's in the Hall of Fame in boxing, and she's going to be in the Hall of Fame here. And so
she can kickbox too.
Yes. She goes for like leg
Rousey
kicks.
Fight. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, head kick. Exactly. Let's not forget about the head kick knockout. And so Silva, she goes forward, a little bit reckless, and she misses a lot. And then when she gets backed up, she really her counters are not crisp. She kind of flails a little bit, and against a experienced vet like Holm, who's only getting better and better, it seems like it seems to be like a pretty easy
She does seem like she's getting better.
She seems like she's getting better, more complete.
So,
and she even goes for takedowns.
She goes for takedowns. She grapples. She's actually starting the grappling.
Yep.
Like instead of like, okay, this person wants to grapple and get me down. Like she's okay. Let's go.
Yeah. I feel like it's crazy, but Holm actually wins maybe everywhere in this fight because she's just been getting good at the wrestling and grappling and takedown defense is all there. So
I would watch out if Holm actually takes it down because that's where Bueno Silva actually succeeds in fighting itself because of her Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But like Holm's gonna, if this is a stand-up fight, I don't see Holm losing at all. So that's my pick.
And if she didn't have such a reach advantage, I would probably just say let's just bet on Holm going distance or the whole fight going the distance. But she's got a 2.5 reach advantage, and she does hit hard when she wants to. So I'll just do Holm straight up.
Holm money line.
Money line.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment.